Hello, everyone. This is Ahmad, co-founder of the Blockopedia. I would like to welcome everyone in our AMA session. Today, we have a very special guest with us from Chronicle Labs, and everyone knows about the Chronicle. Chronicle is the largest Oracle provided, and they also safeguard the 5 billion for the MakerDAO and its ecosystem. And from this Chronicle Labs, we have Angus. From the Chronicle team. He is the marketing person at the Chronicle. He has done several campaigns, and they have played a very vital role in the growth of the Chronicle Labs. So I would like to welcome Angus in our AMA session. And we will dive more about the Chronicle Labs, what the Chronicle Lab is, and how they have started, about their plans, visions, and how they are working, and the usability and the productivity of this of the Chronicle Labs. So welcome Angus in our AMA session. Thanks for having with us.
Hi Ahmad, good to be here.
Nice. So Angus, I would like to start with your journey. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and when you have started your journey in this blockchain space?
Yeah, of course. So I got into the blockchain space late sort of 2018, actually. I saw this huge interest from people, particularly in my circles, in working within sort of technology and finance. And that was, of course, related to the huge bull run that took place there from 2017 to 2018, and that's what attracted all this interest, and that's also what led me to look into the space and try and understand, why were so many people interested in this, what had led to this mass speculation, this huge bubble that had formed, and then by this point popped. Because this was mid to late 2018, and that's when I discovered sort of blockchain technology, and from there I started to look deeper. I looked into smart contracts, I started to look into dApps and the sort of innate features of Web3, and the rest is history, really. From there I was very much convinced that this technology had a really important part to play in society and in industry, and it felt like it was still very early in terms of its adoption. So for me personally, it was a great opportunity to get involved in a sort of emerging technology that I thought was going to be very much used and adopted in the future.
It's good to know. And when you have started with Chronicle Labs?
So I joined Chronicle Labs at the start of this year, 2023. Chronicle Labs has been around for a little while, but it only officially launched to the public. Chronicle Protocol, which is the effectively the protocol that's serviced by Chronicle Labs, that's the Oracle that you mentioned, that launched publicly in September of this year. But Chronicle, the oracles, the product, the tech stack behind it has actually been live since 2017, securing up to $20 billion for MakerDAO. But I joined at the start of this year. Yeah.
Got it. So let's go a little back, and can you give us a quick introduction to the Chronicle protocol for the anyone who are not familiar with the Chronicle? So what the Chronicle is, and what is the story behind the Chronicle?
Sure. So Chronicle Protocol is effectively a novel Oracle solution that has exclusively secured over 20 billion in assets for MakerDAO and its ecosystem since 2017. We've got a history of innovation, including the invention of the first Oracle on Ethereum in 2017. And with that, Chronicle Protocol continues to redefine what is possible with oracles in the space. Chronicle Protocol is a blockchain agnostic protocol, and it overcomes the current limitations of transferring data on chain by developing the first truly scalable, cost efficient, decentralized, and verifiable oracles. this is a very big deal for the Oracle space, as a number of these challenges have yet to be solved, but Chronicle is the first to really tackle them.
And with the addition of this question, I would like to know how Chronicle is works and what sets it apart from the other Oracle solutions on the market.
Sure. So, um, Chronicle Protocol is an Oracle, as you said, and effectively the way that works is that it will take data from off chain, and feed it into dApps and products on chain. A lot of that data is price data, so it may be the price of Bitcoin in US dollars, for example. Pretty much all of DeFi, all of the products and the dApps that are used in DeFi require oracles because they need to know the values and prices of many different crypto assets at any time. And an oracle is a way to deliver that. An oracle is the only way to deliver that sort of safely and securely. So in that way, oracles are much like bridges that are bridging data in. Chronicle is unique in the sense that, one, all of the data is verifiable. So there's this problem, or has always been this problem in the Oracle space, where oracles operate like black boxes, and what that means is that an oracle will give you, say you ask an oracle for the price of Bitcoin in US dollars, it will just give you that price. It will not give you any context or as to how that price was reached. It won't show you which markets it went to get this price, how many markets it went to, etc. It will just give you a number. If you imagine a maths exam, that's like doing your maths exam, answering the question, and only writing the answer instead of showing how you got to the answer, instead of showing you're working out. This is not very transparent, and this is not very sort of blockchain compliant in that way. And we've changed this by having fully verifiable data. So any data that the Chronicle Oracle delivers can be tracked back to its source. So you can say, okay, Chronicle reports that the price of Bitcoin right now is $37,000 or something. And you can see that the way that Chronicle arrived at this value was it went to Binance, it went to Coinbase, it went to Kraken, it went to Bitfinex, it went to all of these markets, it went to Uniswap, and took all of the prices from there and arrived on an average. Chronicle is the only oracle to deliver this data in this way, and we call it verifiable data because what does that mean? It means people can check, people can verify for themselves, where did this data come from? The second thing, which is really sort of important for the Oracle space, and particularly for users of oracles, which tend to be other businesses or other projects in the space, is Scribe. So we've developed this new type of oracle called Scribe, which basically brings down the cost of using oracles by 80% versus someone like Chainlink, and 50 to 60% versus some of the other oracle providers in the space, like your Pith or Redstone. So there's this huge reduction in the cost of operating oracles that we've achieved by utilizing Scribe, which is this new type of oracle that we've invented.
A very well explanation, like from on-chain data to off-chain and from the verifiable data. So I have another question. You have mentioned the verifiable data. So what does it mean in the context of the Oracle?
Sure. So verifiable data in the context of oracles means that you can see and track the provenance of that data. Okay, so you can verify exactly how that data, or where how that value, say it's a price, like how that value was worked out, but also like where it came from. So if we're talking about price data, it means that you can see which exchanges the oracle went to understand the price of this crypto asset, right? Because you can only understand the price of, say, Bitcoin in US dollars if you go to the exchanges and the markets where it's being traded. So this is what an oracle will do. it will to get this data, to get this price, it will go to these markets and effectively ping the APIs associated with each pair in on the exchange, and get the values. As you can understand, on each exchange, the value of Bitcoin in US dollars is slightly different because each one is an individual market, and Bitcoin is being traded at slightly different prices. So an oracle needs to go to multiple markets to get multiple prices so that it can get an average and report that as the final value.
Interesting. It's really amazing to know. And one more thing, how does Chronicle protocols aim to contribute to the broader goals of the decentralization and the main important the data security? So, what's the Chronicle thought on this part?
Sure. So, decentralization is very, very important to us at Chronicle. I pointed towards verifiable data because without verifiable data, you can't truly have a decentralized future. If we want to really, empower the future of decentralized finance, then we need to have a system that can be verified, or a system that is verifiable. And what this means is that anyone who's using the system can verify exactly how the system works, and where everything that the system reports came from. And right now, in something like DeFi, oracles are this part of the system which is opaque, it's not non-transparent, right? So Chronicle changes that and really empowers a decentralized future by enabling verifiable data. This will give people the trust that they need to trust and put their money or capital into decentralized products. The second part is the way that the protocol itself works. So Chronicle Labs is just a developer company. Chronicle Protocol is the actual sort of protocol, the blockchain product itself. So Chronicle Protocol as a blockchain product is entirely decentralized. Us at Chronicle Labs have no way of sort of changing or editing any of the data that the Oracle reports. All the data that the Oracle reports is sourced in a decentralized way. So what this means is that we have a number of different validators who are running a node on the Chronicle protocol. They will source the data themselves and then submit the data into the protocol. The protocol will then take the consensus of all of those reported values, and that becomes the sort of final value that the Oracle then reports to the customer. We're very proud of the validators that we have at Chronicle Protocol. They are some of the most trusted and most used brands in the space. They are companies like Gitcoin, Infura, MakerDAO, DYDX, Gnosis, Etherscan, MyCrypto, Argent, ZeroX, DeFi Saver. These are the companies that are running the infrastructure on Chronicle Protocol and contributing towards its decentralization.
Yeah, the validators you have mentioned is very well, and it's really amazing to know, and the explanation from your side about the decentralization, the security. My next question is what steps is Chronicle protocol is taking to encourage adoption? Like we have read it about Chronicle protocol is available for all the blockchains. It can be implemented at any chain. So with the adoption within the blockchain and wider tech communities, so what the Chronicle protocol is doing for implementation and for the adoption with the among other communities?
Sure. So you're right in saying that the Chronicle oracles are blockchain agnostic, but they're not yet available on every blockchain. So what that means is that they can be implemented on any blockchain, particularly if that blockchain is an EVM, Ethereum virtual machine blockchain, basically based on the Solidity language. then it's a very easy implementation for a Chronicle Oracle. But there is still some work that needs to be done from Chronicle Labs to deploy these oracles on all of these blockchains before they can be used on these blockchains. So they've been designed to be what's called a single implementation across all EVM chains. And this is really important for security and also for maintenance of the oracle. You can only utilize Chronicle oracles on Ethereum and Polygon ZK EVM. The following chains, such as Gnosis and Base and Optimism and Arbitrum and Scroll, all of these other EVM chains will be available by the end of the year. That's our goal, to have all of the main EVM chains also fully implemented. But in terms of using Chronicle oracles moving forward, they will be sort of available on all chains in due course. The goal, of course, with an oracle solution is to be available on as many chains as possible, because wherever you've built your product, wherever you've built your DApp, you're limited to whatever oracles are available on that chain. So the more chains we are available on, the more products and the more dApps we will be able to serve. So I forget the second part of your question. I think it was about engaging sort of the community and engaging those chains. So one really important thing that we've done with Chronicle oracles is that we've made them backwards compatible with Chainlink oracles. And as you can imagine, Chainlink is a first mover in the oracle space. They hold a very large part of the market share. But their solution on a technological level, on a tech stack level, has yet to be sort of developed as best as it can be. And Chronicle has developed this much further and increased and introduced these great sort of cost efficiency savings and gas efficiency, and of course verifiable data, as we already talked about. So what that means is that Chronicle, from a tech stack perspective, has a technically superior oracle to someone like Chainlink, but we've made it so that the oracles are backwards compatible. So if you're already using a Chainlink oracle, it's as easy as filling in the new contract address to change to a Chronicle oracle. There's no sort of extra integration or technological process that needs to be done to integrate a Chronicle oracle. They are plug and play if you're already using a Maker or Chainlink oracle, and that for us is a really important aspect of being able to make these oracles more accessible to more of the market and therefore increase our market share.
All right, like this information is really very useful for the newcomers and for the companies who are working in different segments. So as we know, like you are from the marketing team in the Chronicle protocol. So can you give us some insights about the partnerships of the recent partnership, and how does the Chronicle protocol leveraging with the partnerships and collaboration in its marketing strategies, and some significant impact on the Chronicle protocol visibility and the adoption?
Yeah, so it's a good question actually, because as you know, Chronicle Protocol has only just launched publicly in September of this year. So we're sort of in that first phase, if you like, from a marketing perspective, of introducing Chronicle to the world, right? As we already talked about, the tech stack, the oracles have been live since 2017. Chronicle Protocol is actually one of the oldest running protocols in the space, not just oracles, but protocols full stop. But the brand Chronicle is something that's entirely new, and that's because it's only very recently been spun out from MakerDAO and from the Maker team. So the marketing challenge initially really is about raising brand awareness. It's about helping people understand that Chronicle equals oracles. When you think about oracles now, we want you to think beyond the obvious, right? Beyond something like Chainlink, and start thinking about Chronicle as well. And then if you are an actual Oracle user as well, you're a developer or someone who's building in the space, then we want you to also understand, what makes Chronicle oracles better, right? What are these fundamental developments we've made at a cryptography level, which have alleviated a lot of the sort of blockchain issues of the past. That what's called the sort of blockchain dilemma between security, decentralization, and cost. We've alleviated that, and it's about helping people understand how we've done that with our new type of Oracle Scribe. But also helping people understand how our Oracle works compared to other Oracles in the space, because there are many other different types of Oracle protocols. So in terms of a marketing exercise, it's very much about sort of raising brand awareness, but also education. So what does that mean? That means partnering with a number of the largest events in the space. We kicked off at ETH Warsaw, and then followed that up with a keynote at Permissionless in the US, and then went to Masari Mainnet shortly after. And then in that interim, we've been to Cebu Live and CC DAS in London. We've been to ETH Lisbon more recently. We've been to the European Blockchain Convention, where we were actually won the award for the most promising startup in Europe. And we'll be going to DevConnect and ETH Istanbul next week to partake in the hackathon there and sponsor developers to have a go with Chronicle oracles and understand how easy it is to use them, and the advantages they can gain in terms of these gas efficiencies and making their products more transparent and verifiable. By trying out Chronicle oracles for the first time. As we roll into 2024, hackathons are going to be a big sort of focus for us in terms of our marketing and partnerships. And we're working very closely with ETH Global to do a number of the ETH events next year, to ensure that developers have a good chance and the right incentive, let's say, to use Chronicle for the first time.
Yeah, like I have also seen your presence in the some conference in the permission in the ETH Warsaw. I also travel a lot for attending the conferences, because I believe like conferences and the events are really good for connecting with the pupils and making some good assets with the company. So as a marketing point of view, how do you see these events happening around the globe, like the crypto events and the block? How do you see them? How do you solve the brand awareness, and for any company, for the marketing campaign, how do you see these events for the brand awareness and for the making life for more visibility and for other among stuff of the strategy?
Yeah, I think these events are actually really, really important, particularly if you're looking to launch a new brand, right? And really bring awareness to your brand for the first time. And the reason I say that is because when it comes to introducing a new brand or introducing a new product, I personally believe there's still no more powerful way than doing that through human to human contact. We utilize a lot of digital channels as well. And a lot of sort of brand leveraging, if you like, where, for example, Masari wrote a report on Chronicle, Token Terminal did a podcast and a report on Chronicle Protocol. We've been featured in CoinDesk, in Cointelegraph, The Block, all of the sort of top, the Defiant, etc., all of the top crypto publications. But these are all sort of digital channels, and I still believe that the strongest channel that you can have is that human to human contact, that meeting people in person, talking to people in person, handing out t-shirts and hats and having that time to actually sit down with people and help them understand what Chronicle is and where it came from. So events have been really, really powerful for us in that sense, where we've been able to go to pretty much all over the world, and meet all of the people who are still here in the bear market, sort of still building, still operating, and still interested, and introducing Chronicle to them for the first time. Another great thing about these events as well is that you get a chance to get up on stage and to present and to show people what you've built and what you've done. That's been very useful for us, particularly with Niklas Kunkel, our founder, who's a founding member of MakerDAO. So he brings his own sort of experience, which is vast in this space, having been here since 2016, and that's again something that's really powerful. Getting him in front of people in the real world, let's say, rather than over digital channels, is also quite a powerful tool for us. And I think just in terms of, events during the bear market, I think it's been a bit of a hack, actually. Um, Going to these events and still sponsoring and taking part in these events. I think a lot of blockchain companies have been worried about spend and worried about burn rate and have pulled out of a lot of these events. But particularly if you're new and you're launching a new brand or you're launching something new, full stop, I think that these events are actually some of the most important things you can do in the bear market, because although attendance is down, I think the quality of the attendees is actually higher, because what you find is that a lot of the people who drop in and drop out of the blockchain and Web3 world, based on the prices of crypto, these people aren't there in the bear market, and the people that are there at these events, they are the builders, the developers, the people who are actually making a difference and adding value, a lot of value to this space. So these people are still there, and therefore going to these events and having presence at these events during bear markets, I think is a bit of a hack in that sense. It's really important.
Yeah, I totally agree with your point. Like these events are really helpful, and the way you have mentioned, like the human to human interaction is really essential for this bearish market and for the brand awareness campaign and for making it visible to everyone. I totally agree with your point. Events are really helpful for such activities. So with the addition of the marketing, I have one more question. I know I have asked enough questions from you, but I have a last question in for the marketing side. Uh, can you please tell us something, any challenge, or what are the some challenges of the Chronicle protocol or you have faced for in terms of the marketing, and how have you addressed them?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I think the first and biggest challenge with marketing something like Chronicle Protocol is the real sort of technical nature of what Chronicle Protocol is, and that's an oracle. I think certainly from my experience of marketing this and talking to people at events and in the space in general, there's not an awful lot of understanding of oracles and what oracles do, and there's even less understanding of the problems that oracles face, or the issues that there are with users of oracles in the space, and what their problems are. So I think the biggest issue, or the biggest thing we've had to overcome, has been finding a way to really talk about oracles that make them relatable, that help people understand, what value oracles add to the space, but also how integral they are to the blockchain space. Billions of dollars of value in this space is effectively transported by, or verified or authenticated by oracles. Without these oracles, this value would not be able to transition around the blockchain space. There would be no sort of interchain communication or interchain swapping of tokens or swapping of value in any way without an oracle. So it's helping people understand that and sort of overcoming that hurdle, and finding ways to communicate it in a way that's relatable. That I think has been the biggest challenge with Chronicle, and introducing oracles to people. However, what I would say is that there's some real innate benefits that we have, or advantages that we have at Chronicle, particularly our story of being the Oracle protocol of MakerDAO, right? And being this Oracle team that was invented at MakerDAO, the first ever Oracle on Ethereum, securing such a huge amount of value, right now around $6 billion, but at the height of the last bull market up to $20 billion. All of these things make the proposition, the value proposition of Chronicle as a brand, much more easier to communicate from a marketing point of view, because this story and this history instantly communicates reputation. It instantly sort of communicates ability, and security, and these are elements that are really, really important for people who want to use or need to use oracles. They need to know that whoever their oracle provider is, that they are tried and tested, battle tested, that they are secure, that they can handle billions of dollars of value, without hacks or compromises. So these elements of Chronicle's history have made it, let's say, a bit easier to market. But the broader concept of what oracles are and how oracles add value to the space has probably been the greatest hurdle that we've had to overcome in terms of this our marketing messaging. And I would say it's certainly not over yet. We're still working on that. We're here today talking to you, Ahmad, and helping people understand here as well, what oracles do and how they add value.
All right, all right. I think this AMA is going to be more valuable for the pupils who are going to launch their marketing campaign, who want to take the ideas from you. I will come with the end part of this AMA, and my last question is what we can expect to see the coming out from Chronicle Protocol over the next few months, and what the vision and the future plans of the Chronicle Protocol.
Yeah, so over the next few months, you can expect to see more and more integrations from Chronicle. Right now, as I said, we're integrated on Ethereum and we're integrated on Polygon zkEVM. But through to the end of the year, you're going to see integrations on all of the major EVM chains: Base, Optimism, Arbitrum, Scroll, Mantle, etc., and many more, hopefully, as well. And then into next year, you're going to start to see some real development on the price oracles that we already have, but also some new development in terms of RWA and real world assets oracles and real world assets data transport, which is sort of an element that involves oracles, but isn't where oracles have traditionally played a part. There's a lot of value to come on chain from real world assets, and a lot of people are looking at this right now about how can we achieve this, how can we make this happen in an efficient and effective way. And oracles sit right in the middle of that. They sit right in the middle in terms of enabling the transition of capital from on-chain to off-chain in a very sort of efficient and attested and verifiable way, which is very, very important for the future of sort of finance in the blockchain space. So keep an eye out for our developments on RWA oracles as well.
Sure, we are looking forward to it. So Angus, it was I had a very fascinating discussions with you, and I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed about with the know more about your experience and your the Chronicle protocols vision and the things you are doing at the Chronicle. So it's really very inspiring and very educating the pupils. So I'm thanks for joining us, and I hope we'll be having you again. So just last in the last if you have something to convey, any message to our community, would love to have.
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to be here, Ahmed. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the invite. And anyone who wants to learn more about us, who wants to follow us, you can see Chronicle Protocol as a speaker here just in the app. Just click on that green logo there. That'll take you through to our page and you can follow us. What I would say is that we have just launched this brand. So we are very early. So in that sense, if you join the community now, which is mainly on Discord, but also on Twitter or X, you would be very early in following us. So please, do that if you're interested. And if you have any more questions as well, please just hit us up on Discord. We'd love to help you out. Cheers.
Perfect. Sure, will do. Thank you so much, Angus. Thanks for joining us.